Uh, Slow math, yeah, this right here is insanity. You're not a man to me. I used to be the cannabis. Uh, uh, I got the, I got the Randy C. Nigga, that's that old Spanishy. A matter of fact, it's just a Spanish me. Hey yo, this Lord Math. I'ma start off every insanity with a little corny rap, basically. But yeah, this is the first insanity. This is insanity episode 1. The topic that I picked, it's not even really a topic I picked. I'm doing it as I wrote a list of things and I'm basically just going down the list. So the first topic is how weed has affected our culture. And, you know, I don't really know where to go with these things, but everything is linked to it being why our environment is crazy, you know, how we live is crazy. So I think weed has affected our culture in a way that I don't even know if you could say it really affected our culture. It's just it's taken over really, but everything takes over, you know. But if I had to say how it affected the culture, it's like people become more laid back. Like my idea about weed was, it's not like it makes you lazy. Like, cause when you, as a kid, when you see how people react to the older kids smoking weed, you know, and then you start smoking weed, and it's like, oh, you ain't trying to do this and you ain't trying to do that. It's like you always smoking, and it's like it's not even about that really. What it's really about is that you start prioritizing things. And I realized that I was more interested in me being happy and enjoying my life than I was about like making it somewhere, you know? And the weed came along with that. So I think that I wouldn't say a lot of people got that mentality now, but it's creeping into the public domain to where everybody got some of that, where they trying to enjoy life too. So it might affect our culture in a way that might be something that's trying to get you know, fathers time off for when they have a baby, you know? That might be something that's trying to get like all these parks made. The niggas trying to lounge around, you know? It's a lot of stuff. You never know. But it also affects our culture with you know, the crime. These are the basic things. The basic things that it affects our culture with is the same things that affect our culture if you make something illegal, you know? Because you could say if crime wasn't illegal, then, you know, there'd be no crime. If you didn't do the things, you know, that's simple though, you know? So it's not like weed is a bad thing. It's a bad thing because people end up abusing it because that's the nature of it. And that's really the nature of any of these drug type things. That's the nature of a lot of stuff because, you know, you hear people say like burgers, you don't put a limit on McDonald's burgers. And it's like it's true because our bodies crave food and it crave not even food, it craves the nutrients that we need to keep moving in the day, you know, to keep our body running. So if a hamburger has all of the salt you need for a day, your body is gonna remember that. And it's like, okay, so I got all that I needed in that day right there, so I'm done, you know? Your body, your not even your body, your brain, I would believe thinks you're done, right? But then your brain also sends the signals out because you get hungry again, because you just ate too much salt in one serving, you know? So that's a bad thing that they just let run crazy. But with the weed, it's like it's addicting, just as a lot of things are, because we're humans, and you gotta. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard because anything that you do, you're gonna end up going overboard with it eventually. If you're not if you're not in the right state of mind or if you're not in the right environment, you know. If I believe if you by yourself, truly, and you don't got things on your mind, then you will survive indefinitely, at least mentally by yourself, you know. If you're not thinking about all the other stuff, all the problems, then you'll be fine. But anyway, back onto this weed stuff. Man, with this weed, so you gotta regulate it. Like, you gotta give it out like You can't have too much at one time. That's with yourself. That's with the people giving it out. You know? And we can't this shit is crazy. It's insanity. This is why these things confuse me. That's why I put them up as insanity. But it's nothing that we can do about any of this stuff, really. That's the real crazy part. Weed is gonna be here because it's natural. Other drugs is gonna be here. And it affects the culture just by the people that take it, really. If you take the drug, you affect it in your own way, and then you're gonna do the things that you do, and what you do slightly affects the country, and you know, everybody gathered up affects it in a big way. So it's like, that's something that I can't even explain. I don't even really know why I wrote that down, especially with me smoking so many years. That's crazy. I can't explain that. We gone. Niggas is all high. I don't know, we laid back though. So on some real shit, final attempt right here. We all laid back, right? That laid backness being so widespread has affected the entire culture of us, as beings in America. Now we all trying to be laid back. Like, I know a lot of people smoke weed because when I go out to Manhattan, I can't walk 2 blocks without smelling somebody smoking some shit. And that's real, because that's Manhattan. And 2 blocks is always somebody else. That's crazy. I ain't walking past the same nigga. That's new people. I be seeing niggas out there chilling, smoking like it's not even illegal out here. But it's making everybody lay back. But I already know for a fact that it keeps people working, you know? If you don't go overboard with anything, it's always going to keep you working if you got other priorities. But if, like I said, if your mind not right, then you always going to do something bad with it. You're going to take good things and make them bad when your mind not right, you know? So it's differences with everything. Like, I was reading about meth heads that's still going to work. It's like, how you take meth and you still go to work? I thought that shit was supposed to shut down everything. Niggas said your legs is finished, your drive is finished, you ain't got no ambition, your motherfucking mind shut down, everything is gone, but you still somehow went to work. Niggas said, I only take it on the weekends. Niggas said, God damn, yo, you only take that shit on the weekends? I just seen some lady on cops get caught. She had mad whippets in her car and shit, sniffing that nitrous oxide out this bitch. Like, come on, son. But yeah, niggas could take anything anyway, depending on how they feeling, you know. Even weed, when you smoke it, you could, if you feeling good, you could feel better. But if you feeling truly terrible and you smoke, you just gonna feel worse, for real. It's gonna amplify that. So it's like the super soldier serum and whatnot. Weed is the super soldier serum. Weed is the goddamn super soldier serum. I just realized it. So it's not even about it affecting our culture. It's just about it affecting the people. And the people are already affected by the culture because the people only control the culture. And like I would say the trends, right? Let's say that the thing. Let's say what culture is, right? Culture is really what people eat, the clothes that they wear, how they treat each other, what they believe in. That's really the culture. And you know, TV and all that shit falls into and the entertainment. We'll put that in there too. I'm not gonna remember them 5, but whatever, it don't matter. So anything that you're thinking about, it'll fall into the category of being controlled somehow by the governing body. So you have the clothes, well, not the governing body, but the governing body controls the economy, right? So if the economy is low, then these things change. If the economy is high, then these things change, you know? Just like we know with China, you know, after long times of famine and whatnot, these niggas start eating rats and whatnot. And then they start whipping them rats up and making them shits delicious. I don't know, I ain't tasted, but if they eating it like as a meal, then fuck it. That's what they developed to do because of, you know, changing times. So economy changes the food that people going to eat. Niggas wasn't eating no caviar during the Great Depression. Niggas was eating sardines. Niggas, niggas who was eating caviar on the daily, them niggas was out there eating canned sardines out this bitch. If they ain't kill themselves. I ain't joking about that killing themselves shit, but that shit is crazy. Some of them niggas eating sardines. Their life is over. They ain't never tasted that before. Say canned what the fuck is a sardine? Them niggas went to high class schools. They don't even know what a sardine is out this bitch. But you got that. The clothing, of course, is affected. Trends come from economic status, I feel. Just because you have the fact that people, you know, poor people back in the day, they got like hand-me-down clothes and whatnot. So it was bigger than it was supposed to be on them. So they start learning how to try to make that shit look cool, you know? And then after a while of people trying to make something look cool, and it actually does look cool, it transfers over into more of the people around them dressing like that, you know? And then after that, if it really get popular, then it pick up on the masses, and then they start putting that shit in movies and all that nonsense. You know, they start exploiting it. So that's the clothing. The clothing is affected by the economy really too. The what they believe in isn't so much affected in the everyday, but when drastic things happen, people start believing in other things, you know? We're talking about drastic things like I would say right now, right? If a UFO, if niggas, I ain't even gonna say what I really want to say, but if a UFO came down right now and an alien popped out, y'all niggas won't believe in God no more. Most of y'all niggas will be like, oh shit, that's an alien. Fucking the Big Bang Theory happened. I seen the show. Fucking Sheldon told me everything. And this shit is real, nigga. This shit is crazy. We getting out of here. So, if some drastic shit happen, it ain't even gotta be that drastic. But if some drastic shit happen, niggas will change face. Niggas change face every day based on what goes on in their life. When I was young, I was doing the Jehovah's Witness thing, right? Think about this, like, shit is crazy. I'm gonna give a little tale, right? When I was young, I was doing the Jehovah's Witness thing with my grandmother, right? Reading about death all the time and all of that. But then she died, and I was like, oh shit, I don't understand what the hell just happened. Like, on some real shit, I really, even to this day, like, that's one of my problems. Like, I don't understand death. Like, I think too much. I think I said that shit on this before. Like, what comes after what do I think next after I die? I think too much to think about what I won't think. I can't think next after I think. Nigga, I just confused you on purpose. Because I'm confused. How do I not think after death? But we not going to think about that. So, I was confused after she died and whatnot. So, I really just left the Bible alone until I got to, till I really got to, like, I don't even know, like middle school. You know, I started trying to get back into it. And because, you know, my sister and my mom was like asking questions because I was heavy on it when I was a little kid. And then my cousin, he started following the Israelites and he get me into that. So I started following that. So I'm back into the Bible, he into the Bible, right? So then I started dwindling off of it based on what's going on in my life again. You know, it's like nigga hungry, niggas be having pork shit around back in the day. Like, this not now, but a little while ago, like, niggas got pork shit, and it's like, fuck it, I'ma just eat that shit. And it's like, once you start doing that, it's like, yo, fuck it, son, I'ma just be a regular person again. I'ma just be one of y'all fucking lost niggas. So, my bad, I'm sorry, that's how I feel, but it's fucking, that's based on what's going on in your life. Shit just keep changing and changing, you know? Your religion. So imagine if drastic shit happen. But what goes on in your life is based on what goes on in society, really. And what goes on in your life sometimes will be dictated by what you live in. We already know that with the ghettos, but I'm sure that changes something with, like, we think about rich people, rich kids as brats, you know? We don't know how they was living before. I know some of them is living like regular, almost regular people now with rules, but before they was living in different environments, so it changed how they behaved, you know? So their behavior, how they treat people, just like with the people in the ghetto, niggas was robbing niggas faithfully. Whole bunch of niggas just out there robbing niggas. That shit was like a full-time job, niggas out there. If niggas had an app for robbing niggas back in the day, and they put all that money together into one app, do you understand niggas would be billionaires? Everybody, every black person would be a billionaire right now. Or at least 100,000 there out this bitch. Because niggas was getting it in back then. That shit could have turned into his own business. Say, clock in, nigga, and go rob. Just go out there, nigga. Go get it done. I don't know what you come back with, but we paying you by the hour. You know? Give the money in, we give you your cut. See? Crazy. But I'm not condoning that because, you know. So, fucking, everything is dictated, man. Everything is dictated by what goes on with the government. With the government and what they doing with the economy. And that trickles down into what society does, and what society is doing is based on what the people are doing based on the economy and what the government dictate the economy should be doing. Right? That's simple right there. That's a simple thought. So the weed ties into all of that too, because the weed is another factor, just like anything that's something that's physical, you know, that's gonna change things. So now we got the weed trickling into clothing and food and business and you know, how we treat each other, of course, because it's all that laid back. Hey, yo, just come smoke a joint with me. You know, it's all of that. So it affects it in many ways. That's the only way I could close this out, is that it affects it in many ways, but in many ways, the ways that it affects it doesn't really matter, because we always going to change anyway. And something new is going to come along after niggas stop smoking, because niggas are going to get tired of this shit. Niggas get tired of everything. It don't matter what people pick up. They going to get tired of it. Because after you do something for too long, it just gets boring. That's just the nature of humanity. So they going to move on, and something else is going to take over, just like that is right now. I was going to say did, but something going to take over just like we is right now. So that's Insanity, episode 1. We going to get more in depth, but that shit was crazy. I had to get that over with. Yo, this is Lord Mav. I'm getting this done. Tune in. Just check everything out, man. I got the podcast. I got the music. I still ain't do no videos yet because I'm slacking, but you know how it is. Niggas be like, yo, you gotta get clothes. I'm like, yo, I'm not a clothes person. I'm really not. But I gotta get some clothes, nigga. I go shopping. It's Lord Man. Signing out. Peace.